Rush Limbaugh is going to tell a hilarious story here on his show, inadvertently, of course. He doesn't realize how pathetic he looks. He's going to talk about how he was snubbed on Fox News by his butt buddies, and he just basks in his irrelevance.
I'm watching. I got my two TV monitors on here today as I'm doing show prep, and I already knew that Ron Fournier of the National Journal was on Fox, on All-Stars, the Fox All-Stars, the special report Bret Baier last night, really hammering Obama. I mean, really hammering Obama. So I'm watching. Bret Baier comes on to promote the show for tonight, being interviewed, I think, by Bill Hemmer. And Bret Baier is asked about Fournier. And Bret Baier said, now look, this is serious. This is Ron Fournier. This is not talk radio. This is Ron Fournier. And I said, what the hell is that? This is not talk radio. The heck does that mean? Let me tell you, folks, I will stack up the substance and the seriousness on any issue we discuss. I will gladly stack that up against anywhere else on cable news. Now, what Baier meant was, well, talk radio, everybody knows, bunch of partisans, maybe a little loudmouth extremism there, but Ron Fournier, totally unbiased.
They're going after talk radio. Take me seriously. Look, Rush is right about one thing. Ron Fournier is also a joke. Ron Fournier is, the head editor of the National Journal. Again, people need to understand this, man. The entire right-wing media empire, whether it's the different right-wing publications, the Daily Caller, like they said, the National Journal. There's one that Bill Kristol writes for. What is it? I can't remember. But there's WorldNet Daily also online, and Drudge and the rest of these. It's all a house of cards. Rush Limbaugh, I don't know why he's scrambling for relevance, because he's been irrelevant for a very long time, and he will continue to be until he's kicked off the air. Like we just went over, Rush is getting beat by college radio stations in the biggest markets in the U.S. Again, college radio stations just have a tiny radius where the signal actually goes, and they're destroying Rush Limbaugh. Nobody's listening to Rush Limbaugh. The second they changed the rating system from diaries, which were inaccurate, to people meters, which actually goes by GPS, they realized, oh my God, Mark Levin, Sean Hannity, Rush Limbaugh, all a house of cards. All a house of cards. He's funded by the right-wing think tanks. Advertisers ran away from him the second the Sandra Fluke incident happened, but they were leaving even before then, and now there's hardly any left. On WABC in New York, his flagship station, before he got kicked off, he had dead air playing in the breaks. For those of you who don't know the business, when you don't have advertisers, you're donezo. That's how you stay on the air. That's how you pay your bills, right? So he's screaming about, oh my, they're telling me I'm not relevant, because you're not relevant. But again, in Rush's defense, neither is Ron Fournier. They're also, they have, the National Journal magazines like that. They have 50,000 people who they send the magazines out to. Half them probably don't even fucking want it. They have the same scam going with all these different right-wing publishers and groups and writers and shows. What they do is they'll have the right-wing think tanks send out, like Mark Levin, for example. He's, my book's a bestseller, man. No, the reason why is because you have the right-wing think tanks buy his books in bulk, and then they send them out in gift baskets to people who sign up for, the newsletter or whatever, to FreedomWorks or you name it, the different right-wing think tanks. Again, you have to understand, it's all a house of cards, all a house of cards. But even Fox News, see, that's the thing, Rush, clamoring for recognition from Fox News here. He's, again, clamoring for recognition from a sinking ship. Look, Fox News, to be fair and to be clear, they are number one in cable news, but that's like saying you're the tallest kid in kindergarten. All of cable news is dead, and they're dying, and the internet is taking over. But remember, Fox News' average audience age is about 70 years old. So who do you want recognition from, Rush? Why don't you just go down to the local senior center and give out some fucking tapioca pudding? I mean, that's where you'll get recognized over anywhere else. But it's amazing, man. It's fascinating how a guy like Rush Limbaugh, after all these years, can still take himself seriously. Dude, you said you wanted the president of the United States to fail. Talk about, that's the definition of a partisan! And now he's out there like, no, I'm not partisan. But me, I'm a middle-of-the-road kind of guy. That's how I am. This jackass predicted a Mitt Romney landslide victory. Mitt Romney landslide victory. Why are you still on the air? Your whole thing is, I talk politics. I'm a commentator, and I'll give predictions, and I'm very accurate. And he says this thing on his show right over 99% of the time. No, you're wrong over that percentage of the time. You predicted a Mitt Romney landslide victory. You're an idiot. You have to understand, what are there, 29 different polling companies? Something like 27 of them said Obama was going to win by a landslide, and the only ones that had him losing, one was like, by a tiny little bit, and the other one was like, it's a toss-up, we really have no fucking clue. So to say that Romney's going to win by a landslide, you're just making shit up. You're pulling it out of your ass. But that's Rush Limbaugh. So keep whining for relevance, big guy. It's never going to come again.